little history as we're headed towards the Redwood Grove. This is Henry Cowell State Park, and we're headed to the Big Trees Loop Trail, which is a section of old growth redwoods, really the only ones left in Santa Cruz that you can get to. Some that are older than Christ, and there's a protected area, like a circle trail you can take to go see them. It's another one of our wonderful state parks, and it is an absolutely beautiful day. They have a big slice of an old redwood tree here that shows how old it is by the rings. Wow.
Go back and check on the trees every once in a while and stuff, so that it was just like miles.
That's super smooth from people doing that, huh? You can tell the difference from up here.
Yeah.
It's like, that's how I should do all my furniture. Alright, so birth of Jesus starts here. Chinese invented paper. In the year 105.
Oh yeah, State Park where it was,
this is year 455, year 919, year 1190, 1215 when the Magna Carta was signed, first printing press invented, Magellan's voyage around the world, birth of Shakespeare, pilgrims arriving at Plymouth Rock, and then we got first mission established in San Diego, beginning of Lewis Clark expedition. John Fremont walks into this Redwood Grove in 1846. Darwin's Origin of Species published. And then this was established as a state park in 1902. And this tree was actually felled in Humboldt County. She talked to one of the docents here, and they talk about how they can tell now through genetics of which tree is related to what tree. It's really fascinating. Like, they have done all these studies now, and they can tell that, like, you know, that tree came from the tree next to it or the tree around the corner. See if we can stop one of those guys and get a better explanation. So they got this cool big redwood that's been hollowed out down here. Little hole there. There's a bunch of these that you can walk through and stuff. A big one. Look at that monster. Wow. That's as big around as that slice we looked at. Here comes some of the famous big gaddies up here. So this tree we're getting close to now is an original old growth tree. You can see it's been hit by fire. I could look up at it, but they're super fire resistant. That's the thing about them, is they can take the fire and still live. Some idiots carved their names. About the sun glare. There we go. It's really fascinating. So you can see there's this fungus that grows on the redwoods, sort of filled in a patch up there. Just gorgeous though. You can actually just walk right through this one. Oh, it's much quieter now. I see some squirrels running around up there. Remnants of an old guy there. I love this burl. Gnarly, as they would say. In a picture. Walking amongst the giants. Some other big ones. They're all just fighting to get that sun. Really nice and peaceful if it wasn't so crowded today. I love the clover patches too. Couple nice big old redwood trees. I can't even venture to guess how high that is. But I know the guys that get paid to go up there get big money. So this tree ahead of us is good for getting an idea how tall they are, because I'm gonna follow it up, and from this far back you can see how far and how tall it is. It's just gigantic. Doesn't have a lot of branches till it hits the sun, but it's beat all the other trees up there. No one can cut down trees here anymore unless they're blocking the trail or something. It's protected back here. This is really the only protected zone, this little ring. That's pretty cool. This is what you call gnarly. And some of the truly epic trees are right up here. Look at that tree. Get up for a closer look. lighting here. You can escape that sun for a second. There we go. Get an idea of how truly massive this tree is. And they got this. I just love, I don't know, I'm in love with Burl's Fremont tree. Here we are at tree number 8. The Fremont tree. Hi.
Hi there.
How you doing?
Okay, you're
Good.
videoing, I can
I
see.
am. You want
Yeah, you're
to
breaking.
tell us a little bit about this tree?
This is the reason we have the park. This is the tree that the U.S. explorer John Fremont did not sleep in.
Oh, okay.
The fable is
Did
that he
not
did.
sleep in. Yeah, when I was a kid, I think there was a sign that said he slept there.
Yeah, he was
Yeah.
here, but he didn't sleep in the tree.
Right.
But the story saved this land from being logged in 1867,
Fabulous.
when Joseph Welch bought the land, outbid a lumberman, and built a hotel here.
Wow.
And where are
That's-
you visiting from?
I live in Santa Cruz, in
Oh.
Aptos. Yeah, I just I do a little bit of video blogging and stuff, and I love coming up here. My grandparents lived in Felton, you know, and in fact they've got a plaque up in the museum shop.
Have you ever been inside the tree?
Yeah, when I was a kid.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to go in though. It's neat. I'm glad you told me that story that he beat out the lumber guys. I love that.
Yeah, the
because
lumber guy was
it's
Frederick
just
Keene.
so sad.
It was Frederick Keene that he beat.
Yeah, because I was just up in St. Mark's talking about, you know, how that all got logged out back in the day by basically Chinese slave labor. And
Yeah, that was owned by the Marx Brothers, and that wood was needed to rebuild San
oh no, yeah, it
Francisco.
was definitely needed, and you know, things have changed since then, and it's still a beautiful park. You know,
Yep.
you just don't have these kind of big trees there. A few of them. Wow, yeah, I remember going in here. It was so exciting to go in here when I was a kid.
Yeah, you head back out that way. Okay, thank you.
I don't know if you guys can see anything back here, but this is the inside of the Fremont tree.
At some point we're gonna go see Sequoia National Forest and Yosemite. Is it cool like this there too? Or
Okay, inland,
so are these redwoods related to the sequoias too? Are
they're
just
cousins.
cousins?
These are the Sequoia sempervirens, the coast redwoods. Those
Oh,
are the Sequoia dendron giganteum, the Sierra redwoods.
Okay.
All right? You will read at number 15 about a tree called a dawn redwood from China. It's a Meta sequoia, Meta being the Greek word for light.
Okay.
Those are the 3 redwoods that have the name Sequoia in them. 1 from China and 2 from California.
Okay.
how many
There's
types
a-
of redwoods are there?
About 14.
Oh, really?
Yeah. The
Fascinating.
other more famous ones are the Andean redwoods up in Chile. There are redwoods in Japan. I think there are redwoods in Australia, but I'm not positive.
Yeah, they have big
There's
trees.
like
there.
14 different species. They're all part of the cypress family, the swamp cypress family.
Oh, interesting. So the redwoods are
these are
part of the
cypress
cypress trees.
These are cypress.
No-
Park in the gold country called Calaveras Big Trees Park. And they have a stump that was used as a dance floor before it became public.
Wow.
It's 32 feet in diameter.
So
And you climb up a series of steps, and you're on this polished floor, which is the stump of a redwood.
That's
The Sierra
beautiful.
redwood, 32 feet in diameter.
Wow.
that's cool.
I've been up there. I never knew that.
This is the
Could you tell me, last time I was here, somebody...
Enjoy.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you guys off. Somebody explained to me that they now can, like, one of the other docents can, like, genetically test the tree and see that it's related to, like, the tree over there.
They can do DNA studies.
DNA
It's very
studies, that's what-
It's very expensive.
Is it?
and they're
Yeah.
doing very little of it because of the expense.
Right.
The redwood DNA is a hexaploid. Us humans are diploid. We have 2 strings. The redwoods have 6 strings,
Wow.
which
So-
makes them adaptable.
Right.
All right.
And even
So
more,
and also much more
much more
complicated
expensive
to
to.
study.
Yes.
There are some people doing some work on it.
Yeah. I also saw where they were these very brave guys that climb up and they take a a leaf sample or whatever to see how much moisture is in the tree, and they go up
Okay.
there like a
The
lot.
guy who does that and his crew is Dr. Steven Sillett,
Yeah, I saw like a documentary on
Right.
him.
right? And there's actually a picture of him in the
In the museum?
Hyperion up in the tallest tree.
Oh yeah,
He's 370 feet in the air, holding up a 10-foot stick.
yeah,
All right.
yeah.
And they spend 4 or 5 days up there, and all
Yeah.
overnight, because they hold all their equipment up. Corings. They have a hollow tube that
Okay.
goes in about 3 feet.
Right, that makes sense.
And they take samples, and
Right.
then they study those samples for moisture,
And
and
they-
they can tell from their studies not just whether it was a good or bad year,
But
they
all
can
the
tell
way-
why,
Oh right, right.
what gave it the good or bad. The guy who does the measurements for him, his name is Chris Atkins, is
Uh-huh.
the man who's measuring our trees for us.
Oh okay,
He was here in 2007.
yeah,
And
fascinating.
using his equipment, he's measured the heights of the
I hear
trees.
you, squirrel.
Come on down this way, folks.
Hey, thank you. You are by far the most knowledgeable docent I have
I'm
met
not
here
sure
yet.
about that, but I have to tell these people some bad news.
What?
Is that a service dog?
Yes.
And you don't have to.
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to hear your squirrel. I didn't see him there. Oh, look at him. Just waiting to have his picture taken. Hey, buddy.
Oh, nice. Yeah, this is good. And now the bird piece. It's good.
We've got a very popular squirrel here.
I mean, to be fair, I have seen so many squirrels now.
May I ask where you're visiting us from? Are you with them?
8号树就是那棵树。8号树。
All right, so that was really interesting. Ever since I was a little kid, you know, they had the signs up that General Fremont or whatever slept in that tree. And it did bring a lot of people here, you know, that myth. And it ended up to be that myth is what saved this park. All right, we're getting almost done with the loop trail. Nice chat with the docent. He crushed my dreams of Fremont sleeping in the tree, but there's also a cool story about how they saved this park. Ooh, look at this big guy. We had a big storm recently, and they also had somebody die here from a tree branch coming down onto the train while it was moving. They do take down trees that are dangerous. And it looks like this one came down on its own will, though. We had a very large storm last winter that took down a lot of trees. Not very many redwoods, though. It's pretty amazing. I'm sure there's a story behind that. Anyways, this is the Redwood Grove Trail in Big Basin, and you should come take a visit if you're here. This is just a very, very tiny part of the park. There are miles of trails and camping. Whew, look at that guy. Big trees.
Walking around and compacts the soil, and it's not good for their root system because they're so near the surface.
For like the more children ones, are they using like the energy from like the massive ones to like get up into where they can get their own sunlight?
They do that when they're young, but when you have a massive root ball like that, they're all sharing the root ball.
It's basically, is it one big entity basically?
Well, yeah, absolutely.
Is it
yeah.
considered
They're-
one tree? I didn't mean to.
They're absolutely identical.
Oh yeah, okay.
Children are identical to the parent.
Right.
That's why if you lose the leader tree or the mother tree or the father tree, there's a question. I mean, that tree is not dead. The common root ball,
It's still alive.
and it's absolutely identical to the other ones
Right.
surrounding it. So I mean, it becomes problematic when you start
Right.
talking about life and death.
Right, it's like a
It's really
philosophical
It's
question.
really an integrated, at least grove, if not redwood forest.
Right.
Because I mean, I could go on and on and tell you the south, but
Not
the
me,
roots,
okay?
the roots that extend out from the root ball can extend 300 feet across. And so all of the trees within that, within that area are interlaced and interwoven and sometimes fused together. So looking at them as an individual tree is just off the mark. I mean, they're not even individual complexes of trees like
Right.
this. This is really a family tree you see generation after generation after generation in an integrated system.
It's like Siamese twins almost.
It is. It's very similar, except
Yeah.
instead of two, you
You could
deal
have-
with 20 and 30 and
Yeah.
successive generations of
Right.
Siamese twins.
And I heard you say this like this right here takes the perfect conditions, basically, of
Yes.
water
You're
and
welcome.
sunlight,
Thanks for visiting.
Absolutely.
of water and sunlight and all that. That's why you don't see so many of them.
Well, if you go up further north, like below Eureka,
Yeah.
Redwood National Forest, that forest has been so dense that sometimes whole valleys have been left intact.
Ah,
And then you will see many of these interrelated together.
right.
Not only will the roots join together, but when you're walking down here, ironically enough, our most incredible tree is called the Wonder Tree, and it's not even numbered.
Okay.
But it's between 14 and 15. So
Okay,
when you
I'll
see
take a look.
14, look
Look
closely
for-
to the left and look up. About the third
Okay.
tree, you'll see a bench. That's the Wonder Tree.
Okay.
And what that shows is how the trees grow in the canopy. This shows how they grow to the base.
Base, yes.
But the canopy grows, a branch will go out like this, it'll curve up, a buttress will grow here, this will thicken up, and you'll end up with trunk after trunk after
Yeah.
trunk going out in a candelabra approach. This can extend out. Now that particular tree has 44 of these reiterations.
Oh, wow.
Now the
That's
ones up
fascinating.
north have over 200.
100, really?
But if they're lucky and they survive, the way they like to grow is like this candelabra,
Right.
and then you have trees next to each other, interlocking canopy.
Wow.
So a lot of animals that live up there, including a special salamander, spend their entire 3 years in Middle Earth.
Oh, like
They're not
down,
even down
right.
on the ground. And these,
Is that the three-toed salamander or the?
yes,
Ah,
and,
yeah.
and then these interlocking networks, soil collects, and you
Right.
have
And
botanical
moisture and
gardens growing
growing
in
underneath.
the top of the redwood
And
trees.
oh, right. And yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, and so you not only have other redwood trees sprouting at height, but you have other trees like berries
Wow.
growing as part of the redwood canopy.
Yeah. So all this information that they know now has got to help with reforestation and stuff as they study this stuff.
Part of the problem is, we have saved what's left of the redwood
Yeah.
growths, but we haven't
Maintain it.
broadened our horizons to think about the entire forest. And
Yeah.
it's not just the redwood forest. They have certain types of forests that are transitional forests
Sure.
that they need as buffers.
Hmm.
And so you have to think about the whole ecotone or ecosystem,
Yeah.
and try to
Right.
relate all of the trees and the animals. And it's not just trees. You've got
Right.
the FBI, or the FBI,
Yeah.
but in biology there's the FFBI.
Oh,
And that's
right.
fire, fungus, bacteria, and invertebrates. And you need that complex just to decompose the soil
Right.
to
Yeah.
allow the trees to
All the
continue.
yeah. So they really a lot to
Yeah,
know.
And that's just the animal.
I noticed the giant like white funguses that tend to
That's
go.
the fungus, bacteria, and invertebrates.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're fascinating. I saw one that sort of took over like a little divot in it, and it was about this big.
Oh, that sounds like a shelf fungus.
Yeah.
And they when a tree dies, there's a progression of entities, including bugs, that decompose.
Oh, yeah.
But fungus, that's an active part of what mushrooms
Yeah.
and fungus
Well,
are
it probably was. It was that one that you can walk through, and it's got fire damage on
Number
it.
3,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's in up there. There's that big piece of fungus. Well, thank you. That was really informative.
welcome.
Yeah, I appreciate
Thanks
it.
for visiting the park.
Absolutely. I live
Gives
in.
the tree an income.
Yeah. I don't mind paying the money to come here.
Yeah,
I live in Aptos, but I still come here all the time.
People don't realize that they're keeping the habitat open and alive by visiting the parks.
Yeah, I love it. I was just at Nicene Marks last weekend, and I don't know where I'll go next weekend, but probably another state park.
Write the state, and they'll send you a map of all the parks. I think there's over 270
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, I was thinking of getting a park pass because
Yeah,
I like to go a lot.
that's a good statement too.